Right, thank you for tuning in and watching this video. The video is designed to take you through some of the health and safety arrangements that are in place that are going to be very different from the last time you were in school. But before we get to those, the first thing I'd like to say is that the 4 weeks that we have and you have the opportunity to come back to school, for us, is really important. And the aim in those 4 weeks is to do a number of things. First of all, it's an opportunity for us to ensure good pastoral care and support and to look after your well-being. Secondly, it will give you the opportunity to actually have some interaction with your teachers, with other staff in school, and importantly with your friends, and just people that are different from your immediate household. It'll also give us the opportunity to put some structure back in and to have that structure for learning and supporting the learning that you're going to be doing at home. It also gives us the opportunity to address any issues that you've been having. If there's been any difficulties around accessing work or understanding work, or any issues you've had with the work that you're doing at home, it gives us as teachers and staff the opportunity to support you. It also means that we'll have the opportunity to be able to do some literacy, some numeracy with our year 7 and 8. It means we'll be able to look at some core and some options with our older students, and it means that year 12 will have the opportunity to have face-to-face teaching with their specialist subject teachers. And also in this 4 weeks, it's really important that we recognise it's an opportunity to build confidence. Many of us, we've been away from the school setting for a number of months now. So we need to rebuild that confidence in the systems that are in place, and confident to be able to come back into school. So the first thing you're going to do is arrive at school, and that's going to be different for a start. There'll be a one-way system into school. You'll come through one of the pedestrian entrances. If you come to school by bike, we'll ask you to get off your bike outside of the school and to walk your bike in. The route into school will be clearly marked, and senior staff and year team leaders will be along the route to make sure you know where you're going. We'll be there with a friendly greeting, happy to see you, and we'll make sure that you safely make your way to your venue, to your seat and to your table. Now, one thing you'll notice is that all of the doors have been propped open, so you won't need to touch any door, any handle or any surface. You'll be able to walk right the way to your desk and to your seat. Please don't touch any of the propped open doors, they're there for a reason. Any materials that are needed for your learning have already been photocopied. They've already been photocopied, they're now being quarantined, so they are completely uncontaminated and they will be your materials. All we need you to bring to school with you is your pen and your pencil, whatever you feel most comfortable writing with. You don't need to bring a laptop or any other device unless that's part of your normal working pattern. Please do bring a drink and a snack. No energy drinks, please. So please bring everything that you need, and you'll be able to put your bag on the back of your chair. That seat will be your seat for the duration of your time, but please don't think that we're going to expect you to sit in one seat without moving for 2 3/4 hours. There'll be an opportunity during your session for you to get up and move around with your teacher. Mr. Trelawney and his team are currently working on some activities, weather dependent, of what we'll do with you. Don't worry about what you're wearing for that. We are not imposing school uniform. We want you to wear clothes you're going to be comfortable to travel to school in, comfortable to move around school in, and can be easily washed when you return home. Trainers is a good idea. You don't need specialist sportswear or anything like that, but your PE kit, any clothes of that nature is going to be perfectly suitable for your session in school. One thing you might be wondering about is the use of PPE, or personal protective equipment. Now, provided that social distancing is adhered to and it is in operation throughout the school, there is no requirement for you to wear PPE. However, if it gives you peace of mind and you feel more comfortable wearing PPE, that's perfectly fine. In terms of the teaching staff and the non-teaching staff, provided they're maintaining 2 metres distance, which is again in operation throughout, there's no requirement for teachers or non-teaching staff to wear PPE. However, there are some members of staff who will need to. Any members of staff who will be working on a one-to-one basis with students, and any members of staff in our hearing impaired unit, our ASD base, or even learning support may need to wear PPE because they're getting into closer proximity to the students so that they can lip read, so that they can support them in their learning. So don't be worried about that. You'll see some examples of PPE, and that again is there for the protection of all of our students and all of our staff. And some of our staff, believe it or not, are a little bit older than the students, so there may be other reasons why they will have PPE. But again, that's for everybody's safety and protection, and it is part of everyday life for us now at the moment. When you come back to school, we will make sure that we reinforce all of these safety issues for you. And one thing we'll be reminding you about is what we do if there's a fire alarm and we have to evacuate the building. I'm really pleased to say that the building work to renovate our toilet block is ongoing, which is great news. But it does mean there's always the possibility that an alarm can be activated and we will need to evacuate the building. It's really important that we treat it seriously on every occasion, and we will be congregating in the Red Gra, but we'll explain that to you when you arrive because there are designated exits for every venue. It's going to seem very strange for you when you come back. We've been here, so we've been gradually seeing these incremental steps be put in place in terms of the health and safety, but for you, you're going to see it all in one go. So just be prepared that it's going to be different. You'll see the systems for one way, you'll see the systems for spatial distancing, for sanitising, for washing your hands. This school is now as safe and as clean as we can possibly make it for you. Everything that we've put in place has been quality assured and checked physically by our health and safety officer from the local authority. And I can honestly say that the team here, the estates team in particular, have worked really hard to make sure that it's a safe place for you to return to. When it comes to the end of your session, at the end of the morning or the afternoon, we'll be dismissing you in a staged, staggered way. So we'll be dismissing you venue by venue so that everybody can leave in a controlled manner and social distancing is in place. Every member of the senior team will have walkie-talkies on them and we'll be communicating with each other around all of the venues and making sure that we get you out safely. One thing we need to ask you is that you take responsibility for your behaviour and actions on your way home. Please don't congregate outside of the school, don't congregate in the village. Please make sure that you stick to the social distancing measures as you're making your way home. Our school, our systems are the very best that we can make them. Everything that we've put in place has been quality assured and signed off by our designated health and safety officer. It is clean, it's deep clean, and then it's deep cleaned again. It's ready and waiting for you. Along with this video, we'll be sending out the one-way systems so you can see them in advance on a PowerPoint, and you will know your venue. You'll know whether you're the West Wing Hall or the East Wing Hall, so you'll be able to see specifically your route in and your route out. Please take your time to look through these, and if you've got any questions at all, don't hesitate to get in contact with your form tutor or your year team leader so that any issues or worries or niggles you have, we can address with you in advance. And anything that you think of is really helpful. It could be something that we haven't thought of. And it's really important that you know that we'll be reviewing all of these systems daily to make sure that they're the best that they can be. And we really appreciate your feedback and you working with us in the way that you have done. In terms of behaviour management, it's very simple. We need every student to listen and to follow the instructions of any member of staff on the first time of asking. Provided that is in place, we will have no issues. Right, the next thing to let you know is we're using 5 main venues that you'll be familiar with. We're using the West Wing Hall, the East Wing Hall, the boys' gym, the girls' gym and the sports hall. Whichever is your venue will be your venue each session over the 4 weeks. Each venue will have its own designated toilet. You will only be allowed to go to the toilet one at a time. It will be very carefully monitored. And that will be the only time that you would be unsupervised during your time in school. Beyond that, you will always have members of staff with you to be able to guide you and direct you. The other thing you'll notice is there will be enhanced cleaning. The reason we've left a good period of time between the morning session and the afternoon session is because there'll be a clean down of all the surfaces, chairs, tables, toilets that have been used. So there'll be a midday clean and there'll also be an after school clean, full clean. You'll also see the estates team will be continually walking around, wiping down surfaces and making sure that the school is as clean and as sanitary as it can possibly be. There are hand sanitizer stations throughout the school that we will encourage you to use. The other key aspect we'll be reinforcing is good hand washing. Please wash your hands before you come to school, every time you use the bathroom, and please wash your hands when you go home from school as well. The other thing you'll notice about the venues that we're using is that the 2 metre social distancing rule applies throughout. So you'll see that each desk is clearly marked, so there's 2 metres between, and very carefully set out and arranged to ensure that there is 2 metres between yourself and other students and staff at all times. There are one-way systems that will be in operation for each of the venues. These will be shown to you and supplied when you receive this video. Don't worry about remembering every aspect of them because we will reinforce them with you throughout your time. If at any point you panic because you think you might have walked the wrong way or you're not sure, don't panic. Pause, look down at the floor, look at the walls around you where you'll find the arrows and the little feet telling you which direction to go in. Ask a member of staff, and most importantly, don't panic. Just stop, have a look around you and assess the situation. Right, here we are in the West Wing Hall, one of the main venues that many of you will be in. Now, it looks significantly different from the last time you were here. The first thing you'll notice is that on the floor, 2 metres is marked out between every desk and chair so that everybody here will be socially distanced from one another. So when you come in for your session, you will have your desk and your chair that will be your station for your session. Your bag can go on the back of your chair. Your materials will be here for you. You need your pen and your pencil, and you've got your snack and your drink. Don't think for one moment that we expect you to sit in one chair for 2 hours and 3/4 without moving. So during the course of your session, there will be an opportunity for you to get up and take part in an activity that will be led by a member of staff. Mr. Trelawney is working on those as we speak. And also, if you need to go to the toilet, each designated area has a specific toilet that they will be using. So the teachers will control it and the staff will control it, and to make sure that that's safe for you. One other thing to let you know is that as well as the 5 main venues, there are other aspects of the school that's going to be in use. We will have provision in the hearing impaired unit, in the ASD base, in learning support, in our flexible learning centre, and in our behaviour base. In addition to that, we are also housing provision for our hub key workers. That will be in another part of the school that's completely separate to the main venues that we're using for years 7 to 10. Also, year 12 will be using the new block, completely isolated to year 12, using different classrooms and using the PSA, and they will have their own one-way system as well for their lessons. Another thing you'll notice about the school is that areas that we're not using, classrooms, corridors, staff rooms, offices, any area that isn't being used has been locked down and sealed off, sometimes with tape, so you will see that around the school. So you won't be able to access those areas, but as we've said, there will always be a member of staff with you throughout your time in school to make sure you know where you're going and that you're safe and you're clear on your direction of travel. Obviously, it's important to say that if you have any symptoms or you feel unwell in any way, you won't come to school. If you become unwell at any point during the day, staff or students, we have first aiders and we have first aid provision and we have first aid rooms allocated to make sure that we take care of people and we get them safely off site as soon as possible. So there will be a permanent first aid base, we'll have medical rooms and we'll have an isolation base where you would wait until a parent can come and pick you up. So it's important that you know that, but bear in mind that if you have any symptoms whatsoever, we would ask that you remain at home. And the last thing I would say is that we absolutely respect that it's your decision on whether you feel comfortable and safe to return. There may be many reasons why you're not able to. Please don't feel under any pressure to do so. If we do get to see you in these 4 weeks, that will be wonderful. We're really looking forward to seeing you. If we don't get that opportunity until September, we will equally be looking forward to seeing you then in the brave new world that will be in place then. So thank you very much for listening and for watching this video, for taking it in, and we really do look forward to seeing you on the 29th or whatever day you're returning to us. Until then, take care and we will see you soon.